Hello everyone, and welcome again to a new episode of Easy Listening Podcast. The podcast where we help you break down the barriers of language and help you communicate more effectively in English. It's me again, your honest host Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today.
Hey everyone, I'm Julie. I am so excited to be here with Alex today. In today's episode, we're diving into a fundamental skill in any language. Introducing yourself in English and answering that ever-important question, tell me about yourself.
Absolutely, Julie. Whether you're meeting someone new, at a networking event, starting a conversation in class, or even preparing for a job interview, how you introduce yourself can set the tone for the entire interaction.
Right. It's about more than just your name. It's a chance to share a bit about who you are, what you do, and what interests you.
We also provide a free PDF worksheet that includes everything we're going to discuss in this episode to help you improve your English and start introducing yourself in a good way. So don't forget to download it. The link will be in the description.
Let's jump into a conversation about our own introductions, as if we've just met for the first time, so listeners can see how it's done.
That sounds like a fun idea. Let's get started. So Julie, why don't you start first? Tell me about yourself.
Sure. I'm Julie, and I'm 28 years old. I live in Milan, Italy. I work as a graphic designer, focusing mainly on branding and visual identity.
That sounds fascinating. Milan is such a vibrant city. How long have you been working as a designer?
I've been in the field for about 5 years now. It's challenging but rewarding. What about you, Alex?
My name is Alex. I am 30 years old, and I live in New York City. I work as a software developer, primarily creating applications for mobile devices.
That's impressive. New York is such an exciting place to work in tech. What do you enjoy most about your job?
I love the problem-solving aspect. Each project presents new challenges.
That's interesting. What do you do in your free time?
In my free time, I enjoy hiking and reading too, especially historical fiction. It's fascinating to learn about different times and cultures. How about you?
I'm really into painting and cooking. I often try new recipes, especially traditional Italian dishes.
That sounds delicious. Do you have a favorite dish to make?
Yes, I love making risotto and also homemade pasta. It's a classic.
Nice. So, what's your favorite part of living in Milan?
The art and culture are amazing. There are so many galleries and exhibitions. What do you love about New York?
I enjoy the diversity and the energy of the city. There's always something happening. Have you traveled much?
Yes, I've been to a few countries in Europe. I'd love to visit the US someday. How about you?
I've traveled a bit in Europe as well, but I'd love to explore Italy more.
You should. There's so much to see. What would you like to do in Italy?
I'd love to visit Rome and see all the historical sites.
You'll love it. The history and architecture are incredible.
I can't wait. It was great talking to you, Julie.
Likewise, Alex. Let's keep in touch. Now, let's talk about how to introduce yourself effectively. When someone asks you to tell me about yourself, you can structure your response in a few simple steps.
Yes, first, start with a friendly greeting. This could be as simple as, hello, or hi there. And then clearly state your name and where are you from. For example, my name is Alex, and I'm from New York.
Next, mention your age if you're comfortable. For instance, I'm 30 years old.
Then, describe what you do. You might say, I work as a software developer.
Don't forget to add a little about your interests or hobbies. You could say, in my free time, I enjoy hiking and reading.
That's a great formula. So a complete introduction might sound like this. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm 30 years old and I live in New York. I work as a software developer and in my free time I enjoy hiking and reading.
Perfect. It gives a clear picture of who you are.
After you introduce yourself, it's important to engage the other person. You can ask questions like, "What do you do?" or "How do you know about that?" This shows that you're interested in them and helps keep the conversation flowing. For instance, after your introduction, you might say, "What about you?" or "What do you do in your free time?"
Let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid when introducing yourself. Speaking too fast. It's easy to rush through your introduction when you're nervous. Take your time and speak clearly. Being too vague. Avoid generic statements. Instead of saying, "I work in marketing," try to be more specific about what you do. Neglecting body language. Your body language speaks volumes. Make eye contact, smile, and use open gestures to appear more approachable.
Now let me explain some vocabulary related to our today's podcast. Don't forget to write them down to use them when you introduce yourself. Introduction. The act of presenting oneself or others. Example. A good introduction makes a strong first impression. Background. Information about one's education, work, and personal history. Example. Can you tell me a bit about your background? Hobbies. Activities done for pleasure in one's free time. Example. My hobbies include painting and hiking. Profession. A person's job or career. Example. What profession are you in? Interests. Subjects or activities that one enjoys. Example. I have a strong interest in technology and design. And that wraps up our episode on how to introduce yourself in English. We hope you found our tips and examples helpful.
Absolutely. Remember, a good introduction is not just about sharing your name, it's about making a connection. Practice makes perfect, so don't hesitate to try out your new skills in real-life situations.
And don't forget to personalize your introduction. Whether it's adding a fun fact or sharing your interests, let your personality shine through.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts and any tips you might have for introducing yourself. And don't forget, we've created a handy PDF file that summarizes everything we discussed today. You can download it from the link below in the description to help you practice your introductions.
Join us next week when we'll dive into more useful podcasts that will help you to improve your English.
Until then, keep practicing. And remember, every great conversation starts with a simple hello.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.